Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Welcome to Longview in Washington. So I scanned the truck. Man, when it gets cloudy in this game, my truck just goes absolutely flat purple. I don't I don't know what the I mean there's some map missing. There's some UV map, some UDIM, something is missing. That looks like, oh, that does not look good. But you can see I went ahead and threw a skin on the truck. Hopefully it stops raining and sun comes out and I can show it to you when it looks a little better. But the skin is on the truck. No GPS in this whip. So we are going to need to have a little mini map going. And we're in Longview. We're going to Medford, Oregon. And I'll tell you why as we get rolling. Tell you what happened to put us in Longview. Because we were in Aberdeen and we were going to come down to Longview. End of last episode, I realized this truck needed a skin. And so I built one, but I couldn't apply it because we needed a diesel shop. There is no diesel shop in Aberdeen. The closest one was in Longview, where we were headed anyway. And we needed to sort of cross this city off our list of places to discover in Washington. And, you know, that's just how it worked out. Hey, what can you do? This is the life of a long-haul simulated trucking person. Oh, man. Right. So, anyway, we're going to head down to Medford. And Medford, we're going to head down to... Yeah, that's right, Medford. We're going to head down to Medford. And we're going to start making our way down to get ready for the release of the Utah DLC. And we're going to see if that coincides with the 1.36 patch for both ATS and ETS. I suspect it will. And I'm curious what SCS has has in store in 1.36. I really am curious because the past few patches for ETS and ATS have both had some really cool things in them. Like for both sims, not both patches. There's been more than two, but both sims, there have been some really cool things added to the game. And man, I'm rooting for SCS. I really am. I hope they can keep this sim relevant for a long time. And I also hope that ETS 3 and or ATS 2 is amazing. I think it will be. Although, game development, man, it's tricky. It's got to be tricky because you got to balance like how many of these are we going to sell, how much money we're going to make versus how much money it takes to develop it in the first place. It's tricky. It really is. So, I hope they have enough money to develop ETS 3, ATS 2, and I hope they can see enough sales, enough market share that it's worth it for them to do that and not just keep making DLC for the sims that we currently have. Because these are... I don't want to say they look okay. I don't want to say they look adequate. They're not the prettiest games. They have their moments, for sure. But they are by no means eye candy. But they're working within the limitations of the technology that they're built on. DX11 helps a lot. Will they look better in the future? I hope so, but I think there's a limit to how good they can look. At the same time, I don't know if SCS has the deep pockets to make a AAA quality game, and even if they could, I don't know that they would, because I don't know that people would necessarily buy it. You know, this is definitely kind of a... I mean, driving games in general is kind of niche. But then the truck driving... Ah, man, it's a subgenre of a subgenre. It's a niche of a niche. So I don't know if they had, $20 or $25 million to put into developing ETS 3, ATS 2. I don't know that... I mean, as much as I love the sim, if I was their business development consultant and they asked me, is this a good choice? I would really need to see some serious numbers about forecast sales to say, yeah, that's a good idea, put that money into developing a new sim. I just don't know if there is a big enough market for it. So who knows? Who knows how long we have with this game and how pretty it will stay and how pretty they can make it. But you know what? We got it today, and it looks like we're going to be getting a DLC shortly and a patch, and we'll go from there. I do try to keep up on the news. I try to read the little news feeds in the Steam store, and there's a lot of them. Because there's maybe 7 or 8, maybe 10 sims that I'm into, and each of them has a news feed. Each of them has a Reddit somewhere, or multiple Reddits. So I do try to keep up, but there's some things that I miss, and so it goes. So what's going on this week in gaming? Well, we got two big things happening. The Ubisoft Uplay Plus store is going live. It already is live. And then the other thing is WRC 8 is going to be released tomorrow, the 5th. So let's talk about those two things, because they're both kind of a kick in the ass. They really are hilarious. So, whoa. Oh, shit. Is this a drawbridge? Did we stop way too far up? Hang on. I saw the yellow light. I saw it turning red. I don't know if this is a drawbridge or not. I hope we don't get caught on it. Oh, that would suck. Alright. I don't think it is. This looks too big to be a drawbridge. But I did see, for sure, I did see a light turning red back there. Maybe I didn't. Alright, hoping for the best. Okay, we're safe. I think. I hope. Right, so we'll start with Ubisoft Uplay Plus store. Uplay Plus store is going to be $15 a month. You get to play, you get unlimited access to over 100 Ubisoft titles. That sounds fantastic, man. That sounds fantastic. I think it's a great idea. I really do. And with Ubisoft, you know, some of their titles being up over $100 now for the Deluxe Platinum, Super Platinum, Deluxe Super Platinum. I think that's a great idea. Because there's a lot of people that will not pay that much for a title more than a few times a year. I got a notification, a few months back that this was going to be a thing. I immediately signed up for it. I got a confirmation email. Everything was awesome. And on the 3rd, which was the day that it went live, I was all ready. I checked several times and none of the titles were showing up, and found a Reddit, said, yeah, they're having some problems, but it's going to be up shortly. And I finally get it going, and I realized that they need my credit card information, which I have no problem with. And in fact, I went to the site and was putting my credit card information in to get all signed up. I understand why they would do that. There's a lot of kids that game, and there's a lot of kids that would be happy to play Ubisoft games for free for a month with no intention of ever buying, and that's not how you do business, right? You gotta sell things to make money. And if you're giving your product away to somebody who's never going to buy it, that's not going to do anything for you. Now, long term, it may, because kids grow up to be adults for the most part, and when they have money, then they spend it on things that they like, and they tend to stick with companies that have done things for them in the past. That's just a fact. It's a reality. So, I don't know, maybe they could make that long-term investment to try to bring some people around to their camp. But in the near term, if you're not going to make any money from a person, it can be difficult to invest money and give them your product. So I get the credit card thing. Totally get it. But I also know they kept that on the low. That's not, they didn't forget, they didn't, they just didn't mention it. Because had they done that, they know that people would have said, oh, forget it, not worth it. People would not have signed up. They would have got less email addresses to spam people. So I don't like stuff like that. I really don't. If we're going to do business, we're going to do business as adults. There's going to be disclosure on both sides. You're going to get my money. Don't treat me like a child. Don't treat me like I'm too stupid to know that you're playing me. So I already had the Uplay app installed because I have several Ubisoft games. I was putting my credit card information in, and I realized, like, I don't even want this. The only game that I want to play is The Division 2, and that's a game that I probably shouldn't play anyway. It doesn't contribute anything to the channel, which is a big focus for me right now. And I have a problem with RPG games. I have a problem playing them too much. So it's, I don't want to say funny. Yeah, I guess we'd use that word. It's funny to me that I was all set to sign up for this, and then I continued to be all set to sign up for it. And then at the last second, it's like, nah, I'm not going to sign up for it at all. And the reason that happened is because Ubisoft gave me one thing to sort of pause, And that's something in business, and particularly in marketing and advertising, you never want to give people a chance to think. That sounds kind of cold and kind of cruel and manipulative, but that's a for real fact. You do not want to give people a chance to consider. And once we get up here, I'm going to get my wipers turned off, for one thing. Off, I said. And then I know we got to get over a couple lanes. Yep. Don't let people think. Sorry, man. It's a rough business. that marketing, that's a rough business. Don't let people think. You gotta get them hot. You gotta rub them up fluffy like a tennis ball, and then you gotta clip them. You do not want to give people a lot of hype and get them all hot, and then tell them to go home and think about it for a few days. That's not how you sell things. And that's exactly what Ubisoft did. They gave me a reason to pause. And when I paused and thought about what I was doing, ultimately I decided not to do it. So a lot of people are not too happy about that, but ultimately I don't think it will make much of a difference, because the offer, 100 games for $15 a month US, I think is too good to pass up. I think most people will take that deal. And I'm definitely kind of an outlier on the scatter chart of people that are interacting with Ubisoft Uplay Plus. But I went ahead and uninstalled Uplay entirely from my machine. Like I said, I only had the two games, the two Ubisoft games. I'm not really into those kinds of games. Primarily, I'm a sim gamer. So, yeah, at least in terms of this single consumer, that really kind of backfired, because we went from I'm going to give you $150 a year every year to I'm not even going to play the games of yours that I already own. You sort of lost me as a customer. Well done, Ubisoft. So that's one thing. And then the second thing, which is very similar, and in some ways even better, is the WRC8 debacle. Oh, let's unpack this. So for like 6 months, I've been seeing WRC8 on the Steam store. Got it on my wish list, and it was to be released in September of 2019. All right. I know it was. I saw that for months. And then suddenly, just a few days ago, it said September of 2020. Right? And it's like they're gaslighting me. But no, it didn't say that. It said September of 2019. I know it did. And so what I thought was, okay, maybe they got some delays and everybody's running around, house on fire. And so they didn't have time to put in the new release date, because they don't have one yet, right? It's been delayed. Who knows when it's going to be available. So all they did was swap the year over. Like when we have a precise release date, say November of 2019 or whatever, then we'll put it in. But for now, just change it. Get September 2019 out of there. Put anything in. And so some intern told Steam, switch it to 2020. That was my explanation that I came up with. It made sense. And then a few days ago I saw, no, not the case at all. The game will be available exclusively in the Epic Game Store. Will not be available on Steam for PC users for a year. September of 2020. I try not to cuss a lot on the channel, but Big Ben, KT Development, go fuck yourself. Because what they did was they used Steam to hype the game for 6 months, 7 months. They used Steam for free advertising. And believe me, I don't love Steam. I'm not like... It's not like it hurt my feelings because they took advantage of my friend's Steam. I don't mean it like that. But they used the platform for free advertising when they had no intention of making the game available to PC users. They took pre-orders, for goodness sakes. It's ridiculous. And I think it really shows what corporations think of consumers. That at the last second, you're going to pull a switch like that, and I'll say, oh, okay, and just give you my $80 or $60 or whatever it is. You're out of your mind, man. You can't, it's like, how much for the pizza? Oh, it's $14. And then you give me the bill, and it's, $30. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, you can keep your bill, and you can keep your pizza. I'll go somewhere else. Not because I don't want the pizza, not because I don't want to pay $30 for it, but because you're playing tricks on me. Don't do that. Come on, man. That ain't cool. A lot of people are really, really upset. And I've seen some some defenders, some apologists saying, hey, come on, man. Epic Game Store, it's just a launcher. It's just a launcher. It's no big deal. Well, there's two problems with that. One is it's not just a launcher. There's a lot of problems with the Epic Game Store. It's not something you want on your computer. You can Google that and confirm that for yourself. I'm not going to get into the specifics and the details of it, but you do not want EGS on your PC. You just don't. And then on top of that, for people to say, well, sure, EGS doesn't work very well, in addition to the data leaks and the extra fees for payments and the insecure credit card information and everything else. In addition to all that, it just doesn't work very well. And people say, well, Steam didn't work very well either when it was new. And it's like, well, you know what? Cars didn't work very well 100 years ago. But if you want to start a car company now, you cannot bring a coal-fired steam car to market and say it's totally cool. This is the way all car companies start. That's the way all car companies started 100 years ago. But in the intervening 100 years, we've built this massive database of knowledge, right? So when you want to start a car company now, you can draw on the experiences of every car company ever and not make their mistakes again. So yeah, Steam sucked when it was a new platform because it was a new idea. But there's plenty of companies doing this now, and if you want to start a digital content delivery system, it's easy enough to study them and learn from their mistakes. So to say that, well, it's we're new, so it's okay that we suck. Not really. Not really. So I will never buy this game. I mean, I'm not going to play it I'm not going to wait a year to play a game that might not even be very good. KT and Big Ben, this is the combo that makes Gravel. You ever played Gravel? Go to the Steam store and check out some of the trailers for Gravel. Yeah, that's a sim game. Can't wait. They also make V-Rally. They make arcade games. How they got the FIA license for WRC, because they are the official, right? Like the official... Hang on. Something's going on up here. I don't know how they got that. When you've got Codemasters, and again, I'm not a Codemasters fan, I'm just stating facts. You got Codemasters has the official license for Formula One, which is got to be 20 times bigger than WRC. And they make the Dirt franchise, which is arguably very solid. These jamokes are scaring me. We're going around. I don't understand how Codemasters is not able to get the FIA license for WRC when they already have the one for F1. I don't understand why FIA wants the WRC franchise to be represented by a cartoony arcade game and not by something a little bit more solid. But I was impressed by WRC 7 until I played a real rally game. And after that, it didn't really do it for me. WRC 8 was supposed to be like this giant leap forward, new technology, new look. It really does look like something that could compete with Dirt Rally, etc. I don't know. I'll never know, because I'm not putting EGS on my system. And even if I already had it, I wouldn't buy that game just because of the bait and switch. You can't do things like that to consumers in 2019. This is not the 1950s where you've got 3 channels on your TV and people will watch anything that's on one of those 3 channels. If you even have cable anymore, like who's got cable? But if you even have cable anymore, there's 500 channels of programming, but nobody's watching cable. Everybody's on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and YouTube. It used to be there were 3 channels, then there were 50, then there were 500. Now there's 1 million. And the idea that anybody would watch something just because it's on a platform is ridiculous. The idea that anybody would buy a game just because you make it available to them. Come on, man. Now, I do think the gap between console and PC in this situation here with WRC 8, I think it's really clear that Big Ben and KT understand that their core audience are not sim gamers, because to this point, they haven't really made a proper simulation. They've made some really fun arcade games, but I think the decision was made that we're not pursuing the PC sim crowd. We're just not. We're going for console gamers. And in fact, Slightly Mad Studios and Project Cars 2, I just read Project Cars 3, the developers, Ian Bell, they're acknowledging, yeah, we kind of screwed up with Project Cars 2. We tried to make a game that was more realistic and more detailed than Forza and GT Sport. And all we did was piss off sim gamers because it's really not a very good race simulation. It's too difficult for arcade racers, and it's not realistic enough. It's not good enough for sim racers. So we just pissed off everybody. So next time around, Project Cars 3 is going to be like Forza. It's just going to be a fun arcade game. I'm pulling to get Wade here. Okay. It's just going to be a fun arcade game. Kudos to them for acknowledging we can't be all things to all people. And moment. Had to cough. Couldn't reach my dump button. I will take that out in editing. You'll never even hear it. Go where the money is. And there's much more money to be made from arcade race fans, arcade racers. There's a lot more money to be made from them than there is from sim racers. And in fact, I saw on a Reddit, I have no idea how valid this is. I'm going to spend the rest of the day kind of prowling around and seeing if this is true. Apparently, there's only like the number of sim racers, serious sim gaming sim racers in the world is only like in the tens of thousands. And then you compare that to, I mean, look in the real-time stats on Steam, and at any given moment, there's like 500,000 people playing Counter-Strike. I think PUBG has faded pretty fast, but same thing, you know, 500,000 people in there. Minecraft, right? Casual gamers make up the majority of the gaming market. And that's where you want to go. I think if you just want to make money. And that's totally cool. I don't have a problem with people who just want to make money. Just be upfront with me about it. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't treat me like I'm so stupid that I don't know that I'm being taken advantage of. And, well, using that pizza thing as an analogy, it's like, you know, I want to order a pizza. Well, if I order online, it's going to be 15 minutes. And they tell me, you know, if you order by phone, it's going to be a little bit longer. How much longer? Well, it's going to be 10 hours. Okay, so it's really not a choice then. You want me to order online, and that's totally cool. Don't tell me I have a choice, because I don't. So to say, you know, the game will be available on Steam, don't worry. It's just, there's going to be an embargo, but the game will be available on Steam. Oh yeah, when? A year from now. Okay, well then the game is not available on Steam. I can buy it on EGS, or I can not buy it, and I choose to not buy it, but don't pretend you're giving me a choice, because you're not. But it remains to be seen, and I will most likely never know this, because I don't interact with the upper management at Big Ben, but I will never know if this was a calculated risk, a calculated maneuver, or if this was just an epic, didn't plan that. If this was just a massive mistake on their part, miscalculation. Who knows? Who knows? But saved me $50, $80, whatever they're going to charge for WRC8. And I'm completely happy with Dirt Rally 2.0. In fact, there's another track coming out. I always say track when I'm talking about rally. It's not a track. It's a rally. It's a location. There's another location being made available. It is Greece. Now, I'm a little bit irritated, I have to say, with Codemasters, because a lot of content that was included in Dirt Rally, I'm buying one piece at a time here, me and Johnny Cash, and it's it can get kind of expensive. I just had to buy some more cars. Now I think I have a season pass, because I got the game when I got a seasons 1 and 2, but we're into season 3 now. I don't know. Basically, I got to keep giving Codemasters money. All right. You know, I guess I'm giving them the money that I'm not giving to KT and Big Ben. maybe is one way to think of it. I don't know. I should have pulled in there and slept. I don't know. We just turned red. We haven't paid a fine yet for driving while we're sleepy. But I feel like, and you know, I want to pull out and go faster, but it's getting twisty and it's rainy and it's nighttime. I think I'm just going to hang here behind this flatbed. Hope we make it before we fall asleep. So that's been my big week that I was looking forward to. Uplay Plus and WRC8. Neither of those things happened, but you know what? I'm completely content. I'm in so many race series right now. I think I got 4 going at once. They're all going pretty well, and I'm super happy about that. And we got the ETS, we got the ATS. There are supposed to be some seasons converted maps coming for Farm Sim. I've been trying to. I know I'm getting tired. I've been trying to be really legit on the channel and not have any unauthorized content. So I do have a seasons conversion of a map that I was playing that is unauthorized, but I'm gonna wait until it's in the Steam store. The mod hub. I'm gonna wait till it's in the Giants mod hub before I bring it to the channel. And I think that's it's harder, you know, it's slower, and other people have it, but I'd rather do things the right way. That's how I want to build my channel. It's like from the jump, I want to try to do things the right way and be respectful to these modders that are super, super generous with their time and their skills to give us this stuff for free. Are you kidding me? It's next level. So, well, where was I going with that? What was my point again? What's his name again? I don't know. So that's, just other things that are keeping me busy. Yeah, Farm Sim looks like we're going to be getting on some seasons maps here pretty soon. And, yeah, I don't need to be playing the Division 2. I want to. I really do. I really liked the Division. But I did end up in a grind loop at the end that was really kind of annoying. I mean, just running the same missions over and over and over, waiting for loot drops. You know, that ain't cool. That's not how I game. And I think, is the rain stopping? I feel like it's getting a little lighter here. We'll see momentarily. So yeah, I got enough sims. I got enough games to keep me busy. Farm Sim Platinum is going to drop in just a couple weeks, probably a little bit longer than that, maybe about a month, mid-October. But yeah, we'll have that going, and we'll keep busy. There's certainly no shortage of games on my PC at the moment that I absolutely needed either of those. Yeah, it stopped raining. There we go. But business, man, you gotta be careful. It is not the old days. You cannot mess with consumers. Consumers are, I mean, we're all divas now. We're all divas, and you just can't treat people. It's not even that you can't treat them badly. Obviously, you can't treat them badly, and really, you never should have treated your customers badly. But now it's swung like so far in the other direction that you've got to treat all of your customers as though they were divas. And really, you know, like the people that pre-ordered for PC, this is WRC8 now, the people that pre-ordered for PC, by way of apology, that they're getting a free rear-wheel drive car pack. And people are like, wait, what? So a year from now, when I finally get to play this game, you're gonna make it right by giving me like a $3.99 DLC pack? Really? It's like getting bumped from a flight. And the airline is like, oh, you know, we're sorry that you're completely inconvenienced and you're gonna have to pay for a hotel, and right? It's just this cascade of complications that end up costing you a lot of money and a lot of aggravation. And depending on where it was you were trying to get to, it can cause problems that, you know, big problems. If you were going to a presentation or a sales meeting or something, and now suddenly you're not going to be there. It's a ripple effect. It really can cause a lot of problems in your life. They say, oh, well, here's a voucher for $50. Well, that covers like a quarter just of my real expenses for this cancellation. It doesn't begin to cover any of the other stuff, any of the other components of that cascade of events that resulted from you bumping me from a flight. You're going to give me $50. You could give me nothing. Just give me nothing at all, and at least you wouldn't be insulting me. So to say, here's a free DLC and you can play it a year from now. Come on, man. Are you even thinking? So that's business in 2019. Those are the sorts of mistakes that you see. That don't know what that guy's doing. And I don't know what the breaking point is going to be for publishers and developers to finally realize, like, you do not have the captive audience that you think you have. People are not just going to buy your game because you make it. People aren't going to give you money because you offer them a way to give you money. You do have to compete for customers. And that way, way, way back in the day, in the, I want to say the mid 80s, was the first video game crash, because developers and publishers just absolutely saturated the market with crap, with this misguided belief that people didn't care what they were doing when they were gaming, as long as they were gaming. They would play any game. That was literally their mindset, is that it doesn't matter what we give people, we just need to give them things to play. They don't even care what they're playing. They just want to play video games. And it brought the industry almost to a standstill. It took a long time for the industry to recover, because they lack that fundamental understanding of, you actually have to give people things that they feel have value, rather than just giving them something. Pizza restaurant. I went into a pizza restaurant. I ordered a pizza. They gave me a shoe. Nope, that's not working for me. That is not what I want. Oh yeah, but we gave you something. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not what I wanted. So I think as the industry continues to evolve, well, I know some people will sort that out. I think some people won't, and they will fall by the wayside. I'm not going to deliver this job. I'm just going to pull over here and hit the skip button, and I think, is this going to take us to level 36? I think it might. And we're at 33 minutes, so a lot of things worked out here. Let's get stopped. Oh, there you can see the skin a little bit better. Not quite so purple. Not quite so purple. Here we go. Skip. We do want to skip. Excellent. We are on time. We got some bonuses. Level 36. Beautiful. This is our last skill point, and the only place we can put it is right there, and we do. Beautiful. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of American Truck Simulator. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.